It's time to go. All right, playing this guy. This guy's only 2100. They're really running out of opponents for me to play against, but okay, at least maybe we can get a bird's defense. All right, things are looking good. Can we please get a bird? Yes, got a bird's defense. Perfect. We're gonna get things going. Okay. I keep making this mistake. Knight f6. No, we're playing c6 here. c6 is a modern move. It's the bird master move. We play knight f6 here. d3, a5. Technically, this is inaccurate. Do not play this in a classical game, because if they play rook e1, then I would be completely smoked. But, you know, this is just a practical bet, because the inclusion of these two gives us the b4 score, so it's slightly positionally better. Tricky stuff, definitely. If I were to be playing bird's defense in a classical tournament, I would definitely be playing d5 here, not playing a5. Because a5, if they play rook e1, you're going to get smoked. Don't play a5 in a classical. All right, we'll play d5 here. Take back with the knight. Fortunately, I can't get the Christmas tree because c takes runs into bishop b5. Yeah, just chilling here. Just chilling and just waiting. It's time to go. Man could try rook e1. We'll play bishop e7. They could try queen e2. Then we play bishop e6. Everything looks fine here. The really critical thing for white players to know about is they need to be able to play knight d2, knight f3 against bird's defense. And then they might be able to push for an advantage in some positions. Usually it's just equal, though, but it gets to very weird structures, though, where having more experience is going to give you the upper hand. Queen h5 is a bit sneaky, because queen h5 I can't play bishop e6, because then he's just going to take with a rook. Queen e2, here we could play bishop e6. Definitely. Queen e5, we can play bishop f6. Yeah, in a lot of bird's defense positions, you have to give up this d-pawn, but it's not even a problem necessarily. You often have knight b4 and knight b6 ideas. Man could try, yeah, to that point, he could try queen e4. We'll castle, he'll take on d4, we'll play knight b4. We have a lot of pressure on c2, a lot of interesting chances. Yeah, this position is full of energy, full of life, full of bravado. All right, c3. Bro can do whatever he wants, though. It's not going to affect me. If he takes, yeah, his pawns are just terrible then. I have nothing to worry about in that position. Definitely nothing to worry about. Okay, here, knight b4 looks interesting. There's literally no point in it, though. Let's just put the bishop on f6, start attacking this. This is a very nice position now. These pawns are all going to be weak. Knight c3. All right. If I play knight f4, no, that just hangs a piece. What am I talking about? Let's just take the pawn. If he takes, we'll take back this way and transform the bishop's house into a tree house. Perfect. All right. So here, yeah, we're taking with the pawn. Could have also taken with the bishop. I just like taking with the pawn because I love the tree house. Tree house is a really cool concept. Queen f6 here. Bishop is tied down. Look at this. Queen and bishop have excellent pressure here. If he moves the bishop, I'm snatching a pawn. Very tricky position for him. Yeah, I definitely didn't have to do this, though. I could have taken with the bishop, and that would have also been good. But you know, sometimes you gotta live and you gotta learn. You gotta live, laugh, and love. All right, we're just waiting here. It'd be nice to get my rating to 2600. I think at the moment I'm like number 140 in the world on Rapid on chess.com. It would be nice to rise the ranks. Go up in the standings a little bit. All right, we're just waiting here. I could wait all day. h3, okay, that's interesting. I don't really see what that does. Let's double on the C file. Probably at some point I should clear some space just so I don't get back rank mated. But yeah, I don't even see how that would ever be an issue. Like, how is his queen ever going to break through this bishop? There. All right, so this is interesting. If he plays b3, I want to be able to play rook c3. Actually, wait, no, let me just play rook c7, rook c8. b3, rook c8, b3, rook c8, and then I'm going to play rook c2 soon. Okay, I'm just taking this pawn. I don't know what that's about. If he takes with the rook, I play bishop c3. Oh, then he could play bishop b2. Interesting. Bishop c3, bishop b2. If I take on e1, he takes on f6. I take on b4. So bishop c3, bishop b2, takes on e1, takes on f6, takes on b4. That is tricky. I think I'm winning. I would assume I'm winning, but it's not. It's honestly not that clear. Bishop c3, bishop b2. Do I have anything else? What if I just play rook c8? Rook c8, bishop b2, rook c2. He takes on d4. I take on e2. I'm hitting the rook. I'm up a rook. Nice. Yeah, let's go for that. Let's play rook c8 here. I guess he should try bishop d2, but then I play rook c2. I think I'm still definitely in the driver's seat there. Yeah, rook c2 is a really nice move. Rook c2 actually threatens to take and play bishop c3 still. Lots of tricks. Lots of tricks and lots of traps. Bishop d2, rook c2, there's so many threats there. There's also a threat of queen f2, bishop f2, and rook d2. All right, bishop g5, what is that? If I take, that's interesting. I guess I could take on f2 and then play queen takes g5. That's definitely, yeah, that's definitely good enough. I could also, ooh, look at this. Takes, then I play takes on h3, but no, then I get mated. Cannot do that. Let's play bishop takes f2. Queen takes, we're going to take on g5, up a critical pawn. This should definitely be winning. This bishop is also slightly misplaced. Look at that. The bishop looks good here, but it's actually not doing anything to influence this side of the board over here. Bro's going to be in a lot of trouble. Or rook c2 is going to hit like a sledgehammer. All right, rook f4. We'll play rook c2. I don't know what. I guess he's trying to play rook e6 or something. It just looks like he's dead lost now, except queen f1. I even have rook takes g2 to win another pawn. Queen f1. I also have bishop takes h3. All right, queen f3. I could probably take on h3. Well, actually, yeah, now take on h3 looks like the best. Rook e8 does not work yet. Rook f7, I'm going to play rook takes g2. Or bishop takes g2 even. Yeah, dude does not have anything here. Bishop takes h... Uh-oh. Well, no, queen takes... My rook is almost hanging, but it's not. Bishop takes, I'm worried that I'm missing something here with rook e8, but I don't see a tactic. And if he doesn't have a tactic, this is just going to be a sledgehammer. Of course, rook g2 here also wins, but rook g2, I'm not winning as much material. Bishop h3... Literally, what is he going to do there? I don't see what he's going to do. I guess he could try bishop e8. No, but then I take on g2. If he takes on f7, I go king h8. All right, we're going to go for that. Yeah, I ate a few apples today. Apples and coffee. Still very hungry. I have to go to the supermarket at some point, buy some food, get some things to nibble on. Yeah, I mean, we're just waiting here. It's really time to go. Rook f7, bishop g2, there's nothing to worry about here. He could try queen e3, but no, then we take king h1, rook h2, and queen g2 is going to be mate. Still got the broken mouse. Mouse is not getting fixed anytime soon. Apologies. What am I talking about, actually? Queen e3? I just have queen g2, mate. Alright, we're just waiting here. Maybe he abandoned. Alright, rook f7. I'm going to take on g2. Yeah, he does not have mate here. He could check. That's actually close to working. Look at that. Takes, queen takes, king takes, rook e8. That almost works, but luckily I have king f7. Nothing to worry about. As soon as his queen moves, some bishop discovery is going to be the end. Maybe he could play queen f4. Queen f4, I just play queen h5, though. I'm threatening mate. I still don't see what he has. Rook f8 does not work yet. Rook e8 also does not work. I mean, what's he on about? All right. What's the plan here? We're waiting here, pal. Okay. There. Just take. Yeah, that was bizarre. I don't understand that. Maybe he was hoping that I would abandon the game. All right, that's a very nice graph. Look at that. 95.4. I'll definitely take it. I think I played a perfect game after. Maybe, okay, there was a slight mistake I made here, but everything else is good. Let's look at this. All right, e4, e5. We got all this. Yeah, and I said it once, I'll say it again. a5, yeah, computer doesn't know what it's talking about. If they play rook e1 here, you're in some trouble. The whole trick here is that you can't actually trap them. Rook e1, b5, they're going to take on f7. Wait, no, sorry, they're not going to take on f7. I'm just forgetting it. They're going to play e5, and you're in a lot of trouble, right? Because takes, they're going to take here, and you're going to have to keep on giving up material. Likewise, you could play knight d5, but then takes. And again, don't ask me why I've studied this structure. I tried to make this position work just because it looks bananas, but at the same time, you're just losing. This pawn is way too weak here, and you do have the bishop here, but they're way too stifled by the fact that all the diagonals are closed. Yeah, suffice it to say, I think if I were to hypothetically be making a bird course on bird's defense, I think I might be recommending a5, but I'm definitely going to give an honorable mention to d5, which from what I understand is slightly better. This just leads to more standard positions. And yeah, of course, the whole idea is that if you throw an a5, a4 after rook e1, you're going to have to settle for, or sorry, if you throw an a5, rook e1, you're going to have to settle for d6, which is slightly inferior. They're going to play knight d2, knight f3 here and c3 and have a slight advantage. It's still going to be plenty of fighting fighting chances, though, but it's just you are slightly worse. All right. So a5, a4, I played d5, took with the knight. Yeah, I said it once, I'll say it again. I love me a Christmas tree, but at the same time, this is just not the right moment for a Christmas tree. They're going to throw in a check. It's just going to get very tricky. What is the best move here? Computer likes to take. I got to switch on the normal analysis. Why did I have it on the other analysis style? Okay. Yeah. What are they going to do here? They're going to take. And yeah, if we take with the queen, the whole problem here, I literally got this exact position, I think. They play knight d2, knight f3, and then they're going to take on d4. I got this exact position in a game on this channel. It's somewhere in the excesses of this channel. I don't know exactly where it is, somewhere in the depths, hiding in the abyss, but there is a bird's defense game which went along these exact lines. I did it just because I wanted to get a Christmas tree structure, but this is technically very bad. You're just not in time here. And a big problem here is that you could try to hold on to this pawn, but then they're going to play rook e1. And yeah, if your bishop moves away, you're going to have to abandon the d pawn. So you have a really uncomfortable choice to make here. Do you start running with your king, or do you just block with the bishop at the cost of sacrificing your d pawn? All right, so yeah, let's get back to the game. So I took with my knight, man played rook check. I blocked with the bishop, and he played queen e2. This is just an inaccuracy. Now we're immediately equal, at least. Yeah, there's literally nothing to worry about here. I think in this position, the best way for them to play is to do something like queen h5. And the trick here is that you cannot play bishop e6 because of rook takes. So you got to be a little careful. I forget what the best move is here. You can castle here, and then you're just going to be accepting the Christmas tree. Because of course now if you take with the queen, your bishop is going to be hanging here. Do not blunder that. All right, so man played queen e2, we played bishop e6, c3. This is a mistake. If they do this, just let them take. Just let them take. You don't need to worry about it, because if they take here, these pawns are so ugly. They're not going to be able to defend the d-pawn because they have a d-pawn in front of it. Bishop f6, already black is definitely for choice here. Knight c3, bishop takes, takes. Probably the computer isn't going to like... Okay, computer is saying both of them are identical, but yeah, the simpler way to play this would be bishop takes. Takes, queen takes, and we're just going to have an open line against the pawn. Why didn't I do this? I didn't do this pretty much because I like having a treehouse. I like the treehouse that's made here for the bishop between these two pawns. Because of this in this position, I just went for the treehouse. There definitely was no need for this treehouse, though. You could do this either way. By taking here, we're blocking our d-pawn, but at the same time, we're securing the bishop in a much more interesting, energetic, and dynamic fashion. All right, so bishop e6 here. What happened here? Takes, bishop f6, knight c3, takes, takes. Queen f6, h3. Yeah, all of this is fine, right? And I really like queen f6 because if bishop e3, we can just take on b2. Bro's position is very tough here. Computer's saying it's only slightly worse for him. It's extremely hard for him to play this. And we have a very simple plan here. I'm going to play rook c8, rook c7, and just double and try to invade on the c file. Computer's saying it's only minus 0.25 or minus 0.42. I could not disagree with the computer more. This is a very difficult position already for white. Like, we have the treehouse here. Need I say more? So rook c7, b4, bro just blundered. Bro blundered the whole house. He should have played bishop e3 here. I actually missed that, but I was just going to double the rooks anyway. And if he takes, we just replace the piece on the treehouse. Now we got a queen on the treehouse. Normally, queen isn't good on the treehouse, but because they don't have a dark squared bishop or a knight, they have no way to really poke our queen out here. We're going to invade on c2 next. Computer is again saying that this position is close to equal, but this is very comfortable for black and very hard for white to play. A really nice thing here is as long as we don't let this d-pawn move, the bishop is just locked out of the king side. So there might even be ideas of a king side attack later on with something like h5, h4 or g5, g4. Yeah, in the game, bro just choked it. Bro played b4. I took. Apparently that's a miss. Apparently if I play bishop c3, yeah, this looks even simpler. This looks like a disaster because he can never really resolve the tension here. If he ever takes, then we just gain a very strong pass pawn on c3. Yeah, this would be very easily winning. Just rook c8, c2. His pieces are going to have to adopt extremely passive positions. And in the aftermath of such a thing, we can just try to find somewhere else on the board to invade and overwhelm his defenses. All right, so I took. Man took with the rook. I played rook c8. I was seriously considering this. I just didn't know how much... Oh, he takes on g7. Uh-oh. Look at that. He's going to get a fork. Yeah, we're actually in trouble here. Oh no, he plays queen e5. What am I talking about? Queen b2. Queen b2 might... No, queen b2 doesn't do anything. What am I talking about? Because the bishop will block. Yeah, but queen e5. Yeah, I completely missed this. Guys, I'm not calculating. I said it once, I'll say it again. I'm not calculating a single thing. Very tired here. Takes, queen takes g5. Yeah, the game is just over here, though. It's extremely hard for him to play this. If dude plays bishop d2, we play rook c2. We have threats of rook takes and bishop c3. We have threats of immediate bishop c3. We have threats of rook a2 and rook c2. We also even have threats of bishop takes f2, queen takes, trading everything, and playing rook takes d2 check. All right. So takes, rook f4. Yeah, this is already just a disastrous position. I guess he should play rook e2 here. No, rook e2, though, then I was going to check and then play rook c2. It still looks completely over for him. This is still just a disaster. He's getting attacked too many different ways, and as we can see, I have all these different pieces engaged in the attack, and he's still playing without these two pieces here. So this is going to be a very easy win. Even so, computer is pointing out that if he plays queen e3, apparently I'm supposed to trade queens here. I would have wanted to keep the queens on the board with queen g6. Yeah, it would be hard to win, though. After rook b2 is the way to do it. He's protecting the second rank, and if I want to invade there, I'm going to have to trade off his less relevant rook. Yeah, he would still have some drawing chances here. All right, in the game, though, he played rook f4. I played rook c2. I took here. Yeah, I really wanted to make sure I was calculating this properly because I am leaving only one piece defending here. You could lose easily if you miss a single tactic in such a position. Luckily for me, though, I just double-checked my answer. I dotted the i's and I crossed the t's. And in the end, he just doesn't have anything here. Yeah, takes. There's nothing here. My rook is protected. So bro is nothing. Dude took. I really don't think he has anything else, though. Yeah, computer's pointing out he's just losing in all these variations. So yeah, he took. I took. Yeah, there's really nothing left here. I guess he could try queen f4, but I thought queen h5 would be enough to win. Yeah. Apparently he has check. I completely missed that in the game. He has check. If I take check, and where are we going to go? We're going to go king g8. Yeah, I have to be very careful. Look at that. If I choose the wrong square here, I could get mated. Like king h8, he's going to have queen f6 and queen g7. So I play king g8, queen g3, and queen g6. Yeah, it's over. If he doesn't have an immediate win, he's just going to run out of checks, and then he's going to be losing. All right, so man threw in a check. He just started giving me pieces, and then he ended up losing on time.
It's time to go!